Welcome back. The recent sale of the LA Lakers for a record $10 billion valuation only underscores the still strong demand for sports assets. My next guest just launched their own fund to invest in what they see as undervalued areas of sports. Rashaun Williams is Harbinger Sports Partners founder and CIO. Steve Cannon is Harbinger Sports co-founder and CEO. Steve, also the former vice chairman and CEO of AMB Sports and Entertainment. It's great to have you guys. Rashaun, it's funny. When you guys say you're looking for undervalued areas, I laughed and I'm like, where are they?
Yeah,
not in sports.
In sports. And the reason, everyone's looking at the past, the media rights, driving all the value creation, but no one's looking at the future. $300 to $600 billion of value creation over the next decade, all with local revenue that teams will be able to create by owning the stadium and all the real estate around the stadium.
So what kind of, Steve, investments are we talking about? Where are the most undervalued areas in sports as an investable asset?
So a team that needs to replace its stadium. So if your stadium, ballpark, or arena is 20 years or older, it's not suited for today's premium environment. Premium drives everything in sports revenue, and the viewer and the sports fan is different. So you got to build a new stadium. When you do, you unlock new economics. So the first value is, do we find a team that needs to replace their venue? And then that opens up all kinds of upside potential, not just the venue itself, but the sports adjacent real estate, which is a $1 trillion development category that is only just starting to be tapped.
All right, so we're not talking necessarily about franchises themselves.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about franchises,
we
too.
are.
Oh, yeah. The franchises themselves have been growing at a higher CAGR than the S&P 500 for the last decade.
No, I know. That's why so much money continues.
And we expect
but
that to
push
continue.
valuations up to levels that have gotten a little nosebleed level, no?
Well, the multiples on revenue have remained the same. The revenue is increasing. These leagues have the opportunity to opt out of their media deals if they do really well. NFL has one coming up in a few years. So they'll opt out and then put that thing back on the market and potentially get even more revenue. So the revenue is coming in, online sports betting, international expansion. These teams and leagues are becoming media companies themselves. It's a great time to be an investor in sports.
So you're not put off at all when you see $10 billion, Steve, for example, for the Lakers. That doesn't scare you away. It energizes you to think that there are many other franchises in whatever sport that can maybe not grow to $10 billion, but can have that sort of ascendance.
That haven't fully realized their platform or the power of their platform. If you look at the Atlanta Braves, for example, they built a new venue, but they built it publicly traded in this example, so we even have access to all the data. They not only have all the incremental revenue from a brand new ballpark, they've created an entire mixed-use venue that operates 365 days a year and is non-shareable revenue that they get to keep, that makes the Braves a more valuable entity.
And it was already a $1 billion, $2-3 billion team. They were doing $264 million in revenue. Now, new venue, unlock these economics you're talking about, $500 to $600 million in revenue, and it's worth a lot more.
$750 million is the size of the private equity fund, and Mark Cuban is partly leading this too?
Yes. Mark Cuban is our partner and the president of our firm.
How'd that come about?
Sit next to Mark Cuban on Shark Tank, battling for deals.
Is that right?
So, yeah. I'm a reoccurring guest on Shark Tank, and Cuban sat right next to me. We battled for deals. We talked about sports in between every deal. And he was the first guy we called after
you did your own pitch.
I was in the tank telling Cuban, hey, this is an area that I think is poised for explosive growth. He sold the majority stake of his team, but he believes in the value creation story in the overall league. So once he joined us, it was a great compliment to our football guy. Then we have Jonathan Mariner, former CFO of Major League Baseball, and then we got Cuban from basketball.